Hi, my name is Hannah Chapman, and I live in Valparaiso, Indiana. I attended Valparaiso University for my undergrad, where I got a Bachelor of Arts in Sociology with a Criminology concentration and a science degree in Psychology. I currently work at Solaire, an air compressor manufacturer based out of Michigan City, Indiana, who recently got bought out by Hitachi Group, based out of Japan, so we're on a much global scale now. I work in the global supply chain department. I started off in strategic sourcing and just recently moved to our overall global supply chain administration, where I'm in charge of our KPI, which is our key performance indicators, and our QMS, which is our quality management system, to take our company to where it needs to be because we're just not meeting it yet. So I'm the knowledge center for the company and helping share that knowledge and bringing it to a hub that everyone has access to, and it really pushes forward to where we need to be and meeting our marks. In terms of my personality traits, I scored high in extroversion. I think that just comes from my past in performance. I was in color guard, singing, theater, all that fun stuff. So I used to be a very shy kid, bookworm, and performing helped me get out of my shell. So that really is probably why it was so high. It was about 97, I think, with that. When it comes to agreeableness, I was high as well. When it comes to the others' well-being and their needs, I'm career shifting. I wasn't always in supply chain. I was in the criminal justice field for a few years, where I helped develop a mental health court here in Porter County. And I'm a huge mental health advocate, always will be. And I am actually mental health first aid trained. So I think that's where the neuroticism is, where I'm very composed, I'm calm, I don't really react to intense emotions. I can actually de-escalate them to the point where I've trained the Valparaiso Police Department on suicide by cop situations, because that's a force that has to respond very quickly and react quickly, but with very intense emotions, and how to kind of balance those two counteracting behaviors. When it comes to, and so that's where the agreeableness is probably high, is because of my experience with the mental health community. When it comes to conscientiousness, I am about average, and I think that comes from my ADHD. I was recently diagnosed approximately 2.5 years ago, which answered a lot of questions for me in terms of how I've lived my life and why things are just a little bit more difficult for me than someone else. My mind works differently. And so I got to understand how I process things and manage them, and then it's fine. So I think that's where it's average, because I am human. I am a human with ADHD, and I can drop the ball sometimes. But I quickly get back up and, push forward and learn from the ball being dropped and how I can prevent from dropping the ball in the future. So I'm very good with my management of my ADHD. So I think that's where my conscientiousness comes into play and why it's average. But by no means does it define who I am. I am actually extremely reliable. Even if there's times where I may drop the ball, I make up for it very quickly. I don't really wallow in it. I just accept it. I'm just like, yep, this is what happened. What do I do to fix it and move forward to prevent it? Openness, I was high in as well. And I think that comes with, I'm always curious. I'm always wanting to learn. I'm a learner. So I've always wanted to push myself out of my comfort zone. And I've done that, especially in college, moving to Costa Rica for study abroad when I did not know Spanish and lived with a family that did not know English. Situations like that, really, career shifting too, just pushing the envelope, getting out of my comfort zone, taking the risk. So I'm very open to that. I'm very open to talking to people from diverse backgrounds, cultures. That doesn't scare me. I'm very open to those experiences. And I think that's what's helped me be the creative that I am, have the imagination that I do. A little side information is I love film, and I film direct, and I write, and with the singing too, and writing songs. And I think that's where that comes from, is that I'm very curious. I'm always wanting to learn, and I open myself up to those experiences. In terms of a unique quality about me, I would say probably my emotional intelligence, just the way that I'm able to speak with people. I make people very comfortable. I speak very easily with people, and it's a very fluid, very organic conversation. When I do have conversations, especially difficult conversations, it doesn't feel like a difficult conversation. So I think that's a very unique quality to have, because I think people can react very quickly and respond very quickly based off of what someone has said to them. So I think that's a very unique quality that I have. In terms of what I'm proud of, I'm very proud of my career shift. It was very scary. It was in the light of the pandemic, but I was experiencing burnout. And when a burnout happens, it's an all-consuming systemic condition. It's very, it sends a very clear message that something needs to change, and it needs to change now. And I'm very proud of myself for making that shift and taking the plunge and getting into an area that I have no experience in whatsoever, but have turned out to be very successful in, to the point where I got promoted to the administrative role. So I'm very proud of myself for that, for taking that plunge and working hard for that. And I think the most important thing you need to know about me is I have grit. I do not back down. Not in an aggressive way, more of an assertive way. Pretty much if you tell me I can't do something, I'm going to prove you wrong. So I just always get back up. I don't let failure deter me. If I do fall, I get right back up. I dust the blood, sweat, and tears off, and I keep going, and I will keep coming back. You can knock me down as many times as you want. I'm going to come back up. So I think that's the biggest thing people need to know about me, is that I do not give up. If people doubt me, I will prove them wrong. Not even for them, but for me, especially if it's something I'm passionate about. And I'm a very, very strong, independent woman. So, that can be not the easiest to deal with. But it's in the most positive way and constructive way. So I think that's the biggest thing I let people know, that's important to know about me. So I'm looking forward to this class. I did go a little over, I'm sorry, but it's really hard to condense all of this into one video. But I look forward to working with everyone and learning about how to develop people.